Hi, I would like to explain what are the different types of chemical reactions. Before we start, just revise what is a chemical reaction. In a chemical reaction, the molecules rearrange themselves to form new substances, also known as products. So be aware the products did not exist at the start of the reaction. They only exist at the end of a reaction. So substances that react together are called reactants, and the new substances that are formed are called products. The first type of reaction that we're going to learn about is the combustion reaction. So as the image shows, wood is burning. So combustion means something that is burning. So in this reaction, a substance burns with oxygen in the air to form an oxide. The reaction is rapid and it gives off light and heat. And the reaction is also called exothermic. Exo meaning gives out, thermic means temperature. So it gives out heat. So in this example, wood burns with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. The second type of reaction is the corrosion or the rust reaction. So in this reaction, a substance usually containing iron reacts with oxygen in the air to form an oxide. The reaction is a slow process. So in this example, iron spits in the metal has reacted with the oxygen to form iron oxide. Now, just for your interest's sake, iron is a strong substance, durable and metallic and strong. But when it reacts with oxygen to form iron oxide is a very brittle material, which is why rust is not a useful chemical reaction. The third type of reaction today we are learning about is called the precipitation reaction. As the image shows, two liquids are mixed together and one of the products that is formed is a solid, which is the meaning of the term precipitate. So, a precipitation reaction is a reaction in which a precipitate or a solid is formed as a product. So, the word equation for this reaction says two reactants, reactant 1 and 2, reacts together. The molecules rearrange to form product 1 and 2. Either product 1 or product 2 would be the solid, and reactants 1 and 2 are usually liquids. So the next reaction is the decomposition reaction. Decompose in English means break down. So a reaction is that of a compound breaking down into its individual elements. So in the diagram here, water molecule breaks down into hydrogen and oxygen. So let's look at the definition. A reaction in which a compound breaks down into the individual elements. So for example, water breaks down into hydrogen and oxygen. If you remember previously, we have looked at the voltameter and we have noticed how water molecule splits into hydrogen that collects in one tube and oxygen which collects in another tube. The next type of reaction we're looking at is a neutralization reaction. As the diagram shows, an acid with a low pH of 1 to 6 reacts with a base of pH values ranging from 8 to 14. The blue color represents the alkaline and the red color shows the acidity. Now, when an acid reacts with a base, it produces a neutral solution, which is represented by the green color in the pH chart. So, neutralization reaction is a reaction between an acid and a base. It produces salt and water. So we've reached the second last type of reaction. This one is a reaction of an acid with a metal. So acid reacts with the metal to produce salt and hydrogen gas. So in my diagram, in a test tube, there's an acid with magnesium in the acid. It produces salt and hydrogen gas is collected in the upturned test tube. And we do a pop test to detect the presence of hydrogen gas. So acid reacts with the metal to produce salt and hydrogen gas. The last type of reaction we're learning today is the reaction of an acid with a carbonate compound. In my diagram, I've reacted calcium carbonate with sulfuric acid. So the reaction is a reaction between an acid and a carbonate produces salt, water, and carbon dioxide. Now, the salt produced here would be calcium sulfate, water, and carbon dioxide, which escapes as a gas. If I allow carbon dioxide to pass through the test tube and bubble through lime water would turn cloudy to detect the presence of carbon dioxide gas.